What's up, book nerds? I'm here to give a quick shout out to one of our favorite bookish small businesses, Well Read Candle Company. If you need your home or office to smell like your favorite book boyfriend or maybe your favorite small town vibe to get you through the day, you have to check them out. It's a woman owned business making some of the best bookish scents, and we are fully obsessed. We will link the website in the show notes, and don't forget to use code WhatTheSmut10 to save 10% on your order.
What's up, book nerds? Welcome to What the Smut Are You Talking About podcast. We are a weekly romance book podcast where we talk about books and chaos. So yeah, pretty much anything goes.
Join us as we talk about the books we are reading, what crazy shenanigans are happening in our lives, and who knows, we may have some fun guests drop by.
So grab your favorite snacky snack and your beverage of choice and come hang out and see what the smut we are talking about this week. Hey, Mary, I've missed you.
Hey, Courtney, I've missed you too. Has your summer been as crazy as mine?
Oh, yes. Crazy summer. Work has been getting the best of me.
Same.
The last few weeks.
Same. I'm like, what day of the week am I on? What's my name? Who's your daddy? All the good
My
things.
mind went straight to like Toby Keith.
Definitely.
Yeah, so we're recording this a little early just because our July is so hectic. But we go to Sputmas next weekend. I'm so excited to see you and give you a hug.
It's going to be awesome.
We get 2 weekends back to back, Mary, because we
do.
I ended up getting a ticket to a meet and greet cute. So yeah,
this is going to be so much fun. And listeners are not even going to know. Like, it's so cool when you talk to somebody as often as we've talked, and we text all the time, that you finally get to meet them in person, and it's like nothing's really changed because you're like, oh, I already know what's going on in your life. Like, we've been talking and jamming already. So it's just now we get to do it face to face. So it's extremely exciting. I'm thrilled to meet you in person.
Yes, likewise. I'm just excited to have a weekend away. It's been a hot minute. So, but we're on break from our podcast.
Cough, cough, break.
Yeah, I know, right? But this is is this our first bonus episode we're releasing this summer or second? Maybe third. I don't know. Our recording has been.
What is this one titled for?
This one is It Happened One Summer re-release.
Yeah, this will be our first bonus. This is our first bonus for the season.
No, the one will be
summer.
The first
well, not the first bonus, the first summer bonus.
Yes. Yeah. So excited about that because I wanted to re-release, one of our older episodes this summer. And what better way to kick it off than a summer book? So
yes, definitely.
Yeah, so you get to enjoy the It Happened One Summer bookish chat that I had a couple years ago with Zoey.
Woohoo!
So yeah, lots of fun things happened in that episode. So, what are you reading, Mary?
Just finished my car ride home, which was about 8.5 hours. So I read a whole book. I read a whole book uninterrupted on the car ride home. And I have to say, if you listen to our comfort read episode, you will know that Megan O'Brien is one of my favorite comfort read authors. And I had mentioned that she hadn't released anything in a while. Well, she released a brand new book, Beyond the Spotlight, last week. And I read it the whole car ride home, fell in love. It is a small town romance. He is a country music singer, and he was born and raised in the town and loves how quaint it is and everything about it. She left her boyfriend her parents had decided to pick for her and her parents in DC and drove all the way out to Colorado to the little town where her aunt and cousin live. And he meets her in the bar that her aunt owns, head over heels, falls in love, first sight. And he's like, how can I get her to be mine without scaring her away? Because he was here from page one. It was awesome. I devoured
Wow.
it and I loved it. And I love that Megan's writing again because she is just one of my favorite people ever. Totally need to get her on the podcast if she would come on. I think that would
For
be
sure.
fun. But if you love small town romance, he's definitely the alpha male, total swoon worthy, full of green flags. He falls first, found family, banter with his siblings. Like she ends up having some fun moments with his siblings. And there's hopefully going to be more in the series, like with the rest of the family will each find their partner. So
Ooh, all my favorite things wrapped in one juicy package.
I know. And it's one of those things where it becomes like, you're just gonna come live with me. Like pack a bag. And it's like you don't say how long, and he's like, oh, forever. So
Is it on audio?
it is not on audio. It is not. It's just regular
Sad.
reading. I know. I'll read it
But
to you.
you read it to me. Now,
It is in
weekend's
Kindle
free
Unlimited.
coming up. So
It is in Kindle Unlimited. So
okay, I can do that.
So what about you?
Well,
What
it's funny.
on your read?
It's funny because I'm, working my way through a reread from our comfort read episode. I started rereading the Wolf Hotel series.
Yeah.
We are just like on the same page, Mary. I am on, I think it's book 4. It's Own Me by K.A. Tucker.
Okay. Yep. I remember you
so-
sent me a screenshot of that one. I need to add it to my list.
Yeah, so I am on this one, and I've been kind of chaotic with my reading here lately. I did finish a really good book, and it's like living rent free in my head right now. I finished it this week, but it was so good. Let me pull up deets. I did it through, it was Penguin Random House.
Uh-huh.
They have a audio program, so I get like 15 books a month from them.
Heck yeah, girl.
Yeah. I never read that many from them, but here lately they've been having some bangers. But I did Chase Me If You Can by Heather Francis. I'm probably butchering her name. I need to ask her how she pronounces her name. But yeah, it just came out. It was like an instant USA Today bestseller, and it's tornadoes like chasers. Like
Cool.
I've been wanting like a good chaser book since, ever since I watched the new Twisters movie.
I have not seen the new one. I mean, don't get me wrong, loved the OG, but I have not seen the new one yet. I've heard great things about it, so.
The new one is so good, Mary. My biggest disappointment though was there wasn't enough romance in it for me, and I'm like, I've been begging the romance community, like somebody write me a Twisters but with more romance, and Heather delivered. So
Definitely.
And Chelsea Curto, if I'm pronouncing her name right, Curto.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, she has one coming out too soon. So, you best believe I will be listening to that one as well. But I feel like this one kind of put me in a little slumpy slump. So I've been starting a lot of books and not finishing them. Let me just listen. Let me go to this is so bad. So I log every book that I read. Some of them, if it's a true do not finish, I will do not finish them and get them out of my list. But some of them are good and have potential, and just my attention span can't handle it right now.
Same.
My log is telling me I'm reading 68 books right now. So And that's because like I've started stuff and stopped it, and I don't know. I don't know who I am. But
Oh,
there's a lot I need to go back and finish.
I know. I understand that feeling. Like I have S.J. Tilly's Volek has been sitting on my Kindle since it released because I pre-ordered it. And
Yeah.
I know I hadn't been in the right frame of mind when it first released. I was like, I'm not going to enjoy this to its full potential. And I know I'm
Right.
going to love it because I love S.J. Tilly. We both do. So,
Yes. It's
like,
good.
well, so I just started it last night and I looked up at the clock and it was midnight. And I'm like, okay, Mary, you need to go to
Oof.
bed.
Yeah. Listen, I've been on like a huge vampire kick, and I'm just like, do I start J.R. Ward's like
Oh, you'll be there
brother? Is it the
forever.
Brotherhood, Dark Brotherhood?
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Like that series, it's so long. But I'm also wanting to get back into Zodiac Academy, and so I started over with book one. Don't ask me why I did that, but here we are. So, I reread book one. Now I'm on what's considered like 1.5, which is the same first book, but told by the boy's point of view. And so I'm
Don't you
really
love
enjoying
when
that one.
authors do that? Mm.
Yes.
There's
Yes.
a couple of books where authors have done that, and I'm like, I could just eat you up.
Yeah. I'm a fan. I'm definitely a fan. But yeah, so I'm enjoying that. Um what about TV movies? Are you watching anything?
We, other than watching a little bit of soccer here and there, I'll be honest. So I had I had my work trip and then I had vacation and we've been home a hot minute and then we're going to Nashville. So I haven't had a chance to watch anything really. Like my husband and I we did watch a movie before I left for everything. We watched Wild Hogs. I don't know if you've seen that. It has Tim
Mm-mm.
Allen. It's an older movie, but it's
Oh, I know exactly
the
what you're
guy's
talking
going through
about.
midlife crisis, riding
Yes.
motorcycles and do the cross country trip. It's hilarious. We love it. My husband was like, I really want to watch Wild Hogs. So he was looking where to rent it. And I'm like, don't we own it on DVD? Because hello, we're that era of old.
Yeah.
And we did. So we popped it in the Blu-ray player and watched it.
My
Um,
kids, Sawyer has learned to open up the cabinet in our living room that houses all of
oh,
our DVDs. It has like a child safety thing on it, but he knows
huh.
how to open those now. So they discovered our DVD collection.
My
So,
gosh. And
yeah,
some
he's
of
like,
them are
"What's
okay.
this?"
Yeah, some of them you're like, "Okay, that's fine, you can watch it." And then
Yeah.
others you're like, we're gonna wait on this one."
But he was baffled that we had to, like, put a disc into the Xbox to, like, watch it, because like, he only knows streaming.
I know. I know. And it's funny. I mean, my kid at least knows the DVDs because we've had so many of them,
Yeah.
even when he was younger, and we had the Blu-ray player for so long. But yeah, it is funny,
Yeah.
like this whole generation, and then you're like, "Oh, what about cassette tapes?"
I know, it's like, I can't wait to tell him about, like, how I used to go to, like, the movie store, and we had to, like, rewind stuff to watch
Yes,
it.
I know. So funny.
Yeah. I mean, commercials blows his mind if he has to watch a commercial.
Well, nowadays though, commercials are like coming back, even on like regular YouTube streaming and stuff like that. You're getting more and more commercials, so it's not that uncommon anymore. And I remember when they used to like promote that, oh, you can stream and have no commercials. Well, now they like
Mhm.
shot themselves in the foot because they realized they lost ad revenue. So now they're bringing commercials back and it's nuts.
Yep. Sucks for us, cause like,
Yeah.
I hate watching it
So do we. So do we.
just
We're
to avoid
spoiled.
ads, like
Yep.
It's crazy.
It
Um,
totally is. What about you? What is on your TV? I was about to say DVR, and if that doesn't date me,
well, we have been watching Love Island. We've been behind, so we're still not
yeah,
caught up on that. So we're watching Love Island. And last night, Big Brother came back on. So that's what we'll be watching tonight. So super excited
awesome.
about Big Brother this. Yeah, that's pretty much what we're watching.
I know summer TV time. It's like, there's only so much.
I know. A lot of my shows are off right now because I watch a lot of reality TV, so a lot of stuff is off.
Yeah, same, same. A lot of our stuff is off too.
Okay, book nerds, a quick interruption for something that you might find useful. If your TBR is unhinged as mine and you need a way to consume more books without quitting your day job, Audible will be your best friend. You can grab a free 30-day trial using the link in our show notes, which means you can listen to all the romance, fantasy, and morally gray men to your heart's desire. Perfect for your commute, your hot girl walk, or when you're pretending to be productive, but you're actually just listening to smut. And yes, audiobooks absolutely count as reading. I will die on that hill. So grab your free trial with our link in the show notes and you can thank me later.
Listeners, feel free to slide into our DMs and tell us what you're watching. Give us something new to watch because I'm running out of things to watch while my shows aren't on. So hit us
Definitely.
up.
Definitely, even if it's a movie, and give us a shout on what you're reading this summer. We love summer reads and all those fun, good summer vibes. So drop in our DMs or on Instagram and tell us what we need to read this summer.
Now, you guys enjoy an older episode. Again, it covers the book It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. Love this book, love this series.
Yes,
And
definitely pick it up. Tessa is awesome.
yes, yes. And Zoey, she's known as Zozo's Bookshelf on Instagram. I look because I was going to reach back out to her, but it doesn't sound like or look like she's active anymore on Bookstagram. So
Oh,
that's sad.
that is
Um,
sad, and we hope that she's out there still reading and doing well and enjoying life.
yes, yes. But I do want to say, like, I was really excited about this because, like, going back through and listening to it. So in our older episodes, like, I'd always play a game, with whoever was our guest,
Mhm.
and for this one, we did do cast the character, and, I did, my choice for Brendan was Tyler Hoechlin, who they did ended up casting for Brendan Taggart, and so
Oh
I
my
was
gosh,
like,
that's awesome.
yeah, I'm
That's
manifestation at its finest.
wonderful. Listeners, we hope that you enjoy this re-release and Courtney and Zoe discussing about Tessa's book. It happened one summer. It is going to be a really fun listen.
This week's episode, we will deep dive into It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. When reading this book, you can expect enemies to lovers, grumpy sunshine, small town romance, and he falls first. I'm excited to introduce my co host on today's episode. We have Zoe joining us from Canada. Hey, Zoe. Thank you for taking the time to come talk books with me.
Hey, thank you for having me. It's very exciting.
Yes. So, what made you choose It Happened One Summer?
So yeah, It Happened One Summer was the first of many Tessa Bailey books. She's probably my favorite contemporary romance author at this point. I got it last summer, and it was kind of right around when I had just started getting into reading, and I just found it was super easy to flow in with. The plot and the setting was really homey for me because I'm from the Pacific Northwest. So the setting of I mean, not from a fishing village, but the setting was super easy for me to imagine. And I've definitely been to places that are very much like that. So I felt just easy to flow into that. I love the characters. The main character, Piper, is based off of a character in Schitt's Creek, which is a show that I love. And so that was all I had known about it going into the book, and I was really blown away with just how Tessa writes her characters and the personal growth that Piper went through. I really resonated with, so I just really enjoyed it.
Well, that is awesome to hear. I am a huge fan of Schitt's Creek as well. So I didn't even realize that this book was written based off of Alexis. So that's some cool knowledge.
Yeah, Alexis is a boss babe and definitely deserves all the happiness in the world. So I'll read I'll read any literature with her name on it.
So tell us a little bit about you, Zoe. Give us some background.
Yeah, I am 23. I live in Southern Ontario, Canada, with my boyfriend and our cat. We just got our cat about a month ago, and he's just a little baby, and he's very sweet. Um, had kind of stepped away from that for a few years and just immediately fell back in love with that. Started reading a lot of romance books, and then in November decided to start a Bookstagram account because I really had nothing else to do with my time except for read books and take photos. And so I figured I would just start sharing them. And yeah, it really took off, and I've really enjoyed doing that. And I've definitely gotten more into fantasy, I think, since I started reading again, but, still love my romance books for sure. That's my day one.
What's your favorite fantasy book?
Ooh, probably the Crescent City series. I just finished, House of Flame and Shadow this week, um,
Okay.
and I read, the first one last month? Yeah, I tried to get them all ready, like, finished in time for the release of the 3rd one, but they're really, really long books, um,
Yeah.
and I do find it hard to, like, go and be like, "Oh, yeah, you just gotta get through the first 250 pages, and then you'll start enjoying it," because anybody is gonna look at me and be like, "250 pages? Of what?" So it's tough, but it is a really good book, and it's like, if I can get people to read it, they always do end up loving it, but it is hard to get somebody to be like, "Yeah, just read, the quarter of the book is not great."
Yeah, so Sarah does a great job with her world building, but I have heard that about Crescent City. It's on my TBR. I actually already purchased the first one on
Mm,
Audible, and it's like
yeah.
28 hours long, if that tells
Yeah.
you anything.
Yeah,
Um,
the narrator for the Audible books for her and, like, the Crescent City series is amazing. I really loved her, and, like, I found the audio because I listened to the audiobook for House of Flame and Shadow. It was, like, 26 hours, but she does, like, such a great job, and it was just so easy to listen to, like, all day long. Yeah,
yeah. So I figured that would probably be my best bet of getting into it, is
for
listening
sure.
to it first.
It is, it's, like, a lot of world building and then, like, really confusing. Yeah.
I was that way with The Serpent and the Wings of Night. I think that's the title of it.
Oh, yeah, I
Um,
only got a few pages into that one, but I do wanna read it.
at first, it's really hard to get into. I was like, I'm not gonna like this. But once you get into it, I'm like, holy crap, this is
Mm.
Hunger Games, but with vampires.
Hmm,
So,
okay.
um, definitely push through because
Yeah.
it picks up really fast. So, you just got to get through those first few chapters. All right, so go ahead and tell us about this book.
Yeah, okay. So, the book is about 2 sisters who grew up living in Southern California. Their stepdad is a very wealthy movie producer, and, the 2 of them have kind of grown up very sheltered and privileged. The eldest sister doesn't really have much going on with her life at all. She just kind of goes to parties. She's a big Instagram influencer, and she's feeling pretty shallow. The book starts off with her getting dumped by her boyfriend of 3 weeks, which she claims is her longest relationship of all time, which kind of lets you know a little bit about where she's willing to go. And she has a poor reaction to the breakup, which kind of lands her in jail, and then has to make amends for some of her mistakes and get sent to live in a rural fishing village in Washington, which she finds out, or she knows, sorry, that is the hometown of where her birth father lived and where he passed away. So it has a lot of meaning for her and her sister, but at the same time, they don't know much about their birth father. So it's going to be a big emotional journey for them, because they're going to be kind of meeting people that knew their birth father. Their mother hasn't given them a lot of information because the whole topic has really hurt her a lot to talk about. So the kind of internal development that the main characters are going through is a lot of them coming to terms with just who their father was and the influence he had on his community and what kind of person he was, and kind of letting that also shape a bit who they are. And obviously, there are also really hot fishermen that live in this village town. I'm calling it a village, like it's some rural place in the middle of nowhere. It's like Washington, this village. And yeah, they kind of show up, and the reason they're going there is to watch over a family bar. And that's what they do. They kind of have to come to terms with the fact that they're not going to be living this glamorous and privileged lifestyle that they've been living, and they're going to be sleeping on bunk beds and roughing it and learning how to cook. So yeah, the book is kind of a bit of like a finding yourself type novel. It's hard to resonate a ton with Piper, which is kind of the point. They want to make a little bit her character's a bit shallow at the beginning, and you kind of go along with her throughout the book and watch as her relationships develop with people in the village and her sister and her stepfather and her mother. Yeah.
So it's spoiler alert time. Me and Zoey are going to deep dive into this story. So this is your warning that if you haven't read this book and don't want it spoiled, I would recommend that you stop listening and come back afterwards. If not, you have been warned. All right, so like you said earlier, we meet Piper, who lives this glamorous lifestyle. She is definitely a
Mhm.
socialite.
Yeah.
Needs to be the life of the party, and she broke up with her boyfriend of 3 weeks, so it's definitely not going well for her. So
Yeah.
she decides to get back at him by throwing this amazing rooftop pool party,
Mhm.
but breaking in and entering style.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
she gets
not
caught.
just any casual party, some real rager. Yeah.
Yes. So she gets caught, damages are done, and she ends up in a jail cell. Luckily for
Yeah.
her, her sister Hannah comes to bail her out. And as punishment, her stepdad is sending her, like you said, to her hometown to get her life together. Her dad, who she never met, left them a bar. So she is tasked basically with watching over it, sprucing it up. But Hannah decides to tag along because she doesn't want to leave her sister to fend for herself.
Yeah, Hannah is unwaveringly loyal towards Piper throughout the whole book. Like, she's quite the sister.
She really is. And the bond between them two remind
Mhm.
me so much of me and my own sister. Like
Yep.
we will do anything for one another. So that
Very
was
ride or
kind of
die.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very nice to read. Even like the humor, like I could just see their banter. It's definitely 100% me and my sister.
Yeah.
So I really resonated with them.
And I also really like that, like, Hannah never judged Piper. Like, even though Piper was extremely shallow at the beginning of the book, and she knew it too. Like, she's going through, like, her internal dialogue sometimes was like, I can't even believe I just said that. But Hannah, has obviously tried to work harder for the things that she's achieved. even if her dick father likes to claim that he's done everything for her. But yeah, like she doesn't judge her sister. She doesn't put her down or make her feel like she's done anything wrong. And I think that's a big reason why they have such a healthy relationship, because Piper feels so supported and is obviously very protective over her as well.
Right. Yes. And I just love Piper and how she has no filter.
Same. No, she's like, that's why I just love that she is literally Alexis Rose, because she is literally Alexis Rose. And
Yes, she
her
really is.
lipstick purse, oh my gosh, the lipstick purse. That was
I forgot about that.
and her just asking Hannah, like, do you think my lipstick purse is stupid? Sometimes Tessa is very unserious, and I really like she can be very funny, and then she can also sometimes be a little cringy, but no, most of the dialogue is pretty hilarious.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I totally forgot about the lipstick purse. Oh man.
Yeah, I have okay, wait. Yeah, here it is. So I highlighted the whole part. So this is when when Brendan sees Piper for the first time. So he looks at her, he goes, "It was the one in the floppy hat who caught his eye right away, because she looked the most ridiculous lipstick-shaped purse dangled from her forearm, wrists limp and dragged down her shoulders, as if she was afraid to touch something. She tilted her head back and gazed at the building and was laughing, and at that laugh turned into what looked like a sob, and he couldn't hear it through the music and the pane of glass." And I yeah, I'm just like, I can imagine like these big gruely fishermen who've lived this, roughing it lifestyle their entire lives. They're very simple people, and then they just see these two girls walk in high heels with
Yes.
perfect blowouts and like flawless skin. They've got they've got their lipstick purse.
Yeah, because it was when they entered the bar that, they were shocked to find a bunch of fishermen just sitting around drinking,
Yeah,
but almost every single one of them were, like, tripping over themselves to, like, help
literally.
them.
They're like, "Oh, Hannah, can you go grab the rest of the bags?" And then he said like 13 men immediately get up from their seats and rush over. They're like, "I'll help you." And he's like, "I'm firing all of these idiots." I really loved Brendan's character right off the bat. Like he wasn't like he did judge her immediately, but then he noticed that his judgment was unfair, and he like you kind of saw him go through that like, "Oh, I really misjudged this girl and I was mean to her and made her feel terrible, and like I was kind of an unwelcoming presence in this town that's supposed to be super welcoming."
Uh-huh.
Um but yeah, he like I do see why he, like, at first was a bit apprehensive. Piper and Hannah, they walk into the bar, kind of guns a-blazing, saying, like, "Oh, yeah, we own the place." And obviously, they're going to be a bit protective, considering it's, like, their spot and their community get-together place. It's also, like, not legal either. So these girls could be anyone, right? Like, I'm pretty sure they established it was not a legal business.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it was kind of a fair judgment, but then the part in the grocery store where he's walking down the aisle and he hears somebody going to Siri, "Dinners with 2 ingredients."
That
Easy.
was my favorite scene in the entire book. I actually have that
Oh.
noted.
He has to explain how to make a bolognese, and like, yeah, that entire part was just so funny, and then like also very awkward because of the first kind of exchange of like finding out that he's a widow and her not having a filter, and so making a
Yes.
very inappropriate comment.
I
And
know.
yeah, and there were a few of those moments where I was like, oh yeah,
Yes, because she said something about, like, how she felt sorry for his wife,
felt sorry
and
for
then
your wife. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that was, like, one of my favorite scenes of the entire book.
I just love that she thought of that. That was so hilarious. Just like overhearing somebody talking to their Siri, and yeah.
Which is funny because my husband uses Siri all the time. Like, until I met him, I've never, like, heard anyone actually use Siri. But
Yeah, I've never. Yeah.
he, like, literally uses Siri for everything. I have a bad habit of losing my phone in the house. And I'm like, oh, where did I put my phone? And then all of a sudden from the other room, I hear my husband go, hey, Siri, call my wife. And I'm like, you're so lazy. Just go.
Yeah. I guess that's what it's for. Yeah. That's like the point of Siri, I guess. But no, I get what you mean. I don't really like use Siri. I don't really know many people who do, so it would throw me off a little bit.
Yeah. All right. So after the cute scene at the grocery store, Piper goes back to the bar and attempts to cook some dinner for her and Hannah. Which, again, this book is like a bunch of cute scenes back to back. Like, I just love it.
That's why I have so much annotated, is because there's so many cute little, like, just tiny little moments between the two of them. Yeah. She almost burns down their apartment.
Yeah. It is just, again, it's so very relatable, especially, like, before I was married. Like, I didn't know how to cook. So I feel this. I remember it was like back in high school. Me and one of my best friends, we decide we wanted hamburgers. And I was like, oh, I can cook a hamburger. No problem. I cannot cook a hamburger. I ended up smoking their like entire house up. And her mom came home and was like, what in the heck are y'all doing? And I was like, yeah, I tried to cook hamburgers. So, yeah, I can relate to this.
So you can put yourself in Piper's shoes in that moment there. When they're starting a fire, I think cooking pasta. Yeah.
Yeah.
Classic moment.
Yes. So, so she runs outside with this like skillet full, I think it was hamburger meat that she was trying to brown.
Yeah.
That, so she ran outside and just so happens, Brendan and Fox was across the street eating dinner. Yeah. And he came out because she couldn't figure out how to get the fire extinguisher to work.
No, exactly. Yeah.
So, and then that's when, we first find out how protective Hannah is, because Hannah just starts going off on him. So, I love that.
I have the page here, right? And I highlighted, because the first thing he says when he puts out the fire was, did you hurt yourself? Which I love that so much, because up to that point, he had been very harsh with her and sarcastic. But then like 2 lines later, he does make a sarcastic comment. And then Hannah calls him a bully and then like just goes into him for like a couple pages of just screaming. And he feels bad, but then he kind of gets all like, oh, nobody can talk to me like this. I'm the captain. Yeah. But then he does start feeling bad again.
When I first started reading this, I have been on a big Below Deck kick. I don't know if you watch Bravo, but it's one of the series that they have. And it's like one show, but it has like multiple spin-offs of it. Like there's different versions of Below Deck.
I have heard of it.
I just like been picturing this as I was reading it. I'm like, oh, that's such like a captain would say.
Yep. And then just kind of going from him, like, because I think the next maybe like 20, 30 pages after that point is kind of a lot of him realizing what he's been a jerk to Piper, and he doesn't feel like that's the person he wants to be and the perception he wants to have her take away of this like city, because obviously he has a lot of pride in his home and he loves it, and he feels like he's done a bad job of representing it. And he's also in love with her instantly, so there's that as well.
That's the love.
I like pretty much immediately he starts trying to take care of her, which is probably my favorite part of this book, is the way he does things for her. Like just naturally, it's just like, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Like they're not dating yet, and he's gonna like do renovations at her bar for her, and called the 80-year-old town handyman to come and fix her bunk bed.
That was so cute.
That was very sweet. And I was like, of course, their town handyman is like 150. Abe was a very great character. That was the one that I forgot the name of like 30 minutes after reading the book, and I had to go back and be like, what was that old man's name again? But no, Brendan was very sweet with her, and like he fixed they went fishing and he had the locks changed on the place because he wanted to make sure they would be safe while he was gone. And I was like, oh, he's obsessed with her.
Yes. And you talked about Piper's character building. Brendan, his characters showed so much improvement too, because we find out early on how like in control he needs to be and how he likes his life a certain way. And he starts to slowly like put that aside to put her needs first. So I definitely liked seeing him change over the course of the book.
And that was one of the quotes from him, was one of my favorites, was when, they're talking about what their relationship standing is. And because he was very much so like, I want this woman. She will be my wife. And she's very like, just sex. I just want sex from you. And he was like, I like to keep everything in my life neat and tidy in little boxes, but I can't figure out where to put you. And she's like, I don't know what that means. He's like, we'll figure out what it means, but you're not gonna label this as just sex, because he wanted more.
Yeah. And when she was drunk in the car ride home, and she was like, oh, I don't want to be the pot pie.
Oh my gosh, yes. Yep. I love that he has this consistency though, and that he's like, one of my favorite parts was when he comes in with the takeout menus and he has all of the favorites from each restaurant circled for her so she knows what to order. And it's just like that extra step, like just bringing her the takeout menus was already sweet as hell. And then he, does that. And she saw it as controlling, but I was just like, no, that's he's just a simple guy, he likes the same things every single week. Yeah. Oh, and then the next page, she asks, are we friends, Brendan? No. He's in love. He like, and this was not even 100 pages in, and he was already like, because I don't like insta love as a trope. Usually I find it can be just kind of off-putting, and then I'm like, well, where's the book gonna go from this point? They're already in love. In this case, I was very much for the insta love from Brendan's side. Like that was amazing. I loved his chapters, and his POV was just, I think Tess, I mean, obviously it's not a guy writing a guy's POV, but this woman writes men so well. How did you feel about the scene where he installs Instagram just to look at her scandalous photos?
My gosh, that whole so he's on the boat, but they haven't took off yet, and he's trying to download Instagram real quick. So he has to make a profile, and then so he's like looking at her pictures, and I think, doesn't Fox come and catch him?
So all of the guys are kind of talking, and they kind of notice that he's being like a little quiet, and they look over and they're like, are you downloading Instagram? And they then start to give him some suggestions for a username. We have Captain Cutie 69, I got crabs for you, and Slippery When Wet. Slippery When Wet just sent me. Just like, Tessa had so much fun writing this book. But like the scene before that where she's like, he walks in and she's a little indecent, and then she's like, oh, I have worse than this on my Instagram. And his reaction is like, not possessive and like, oh, I hate that she's showing this. It was like, I need to see these photos.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this just reminded me of when him and the guys are at the bar, and he was building the pergola for her.
Okay, so that's how you pronounce it. Thank goodness. I'm so glad you said it. I didn't want to have to be the one to say it.
Yeah, so he's building the pergola, and they were giving him hell, and they said the first picture has to be of him. It has his face for facial recognition. And they all know like what they're getting at. And they all just like agree. It was like, yeah, this has to happen. Just so they could get like a picture of him smiling or whatever.
Yeah.
That was such a cute scene too.
The guys' friendship in the book was really nice, and that's why I feel like they set it up so well for Hook, Line, and Sinker, because I genuinely really wanted to read about Hannah and Fox throughout the whole book. I
can't wait. Like,
yeah.
I need to read it now.
I didn't know it was, I didn't realize it was 2 books when I first bought it. And so I just started reading this book and I'm like, oh, this Hannah character is so great. I wish that there was a book about her. So, yeah.
Surprise, surprise.
Exactly. Oh, yes. The grandmother. That was a really nice little addition as well. Kind of finding out that they had a grandma who they didn't even know. Like that confused me a little bit. I was like, did they not know about her or that she lived there? They must not have.
Yeah, so multiple times early in the book, people have asked Piper, well, have you went and saw Opal? And so she's thinking this Opal person is probably like a town favorite. So she finally has some free time and was like, I'm going to go check out who this Opal person is. So Opal answers the door thinking that Piper's going to be her hairdresser. And she's like, no. She's like, everybody's been telling me to come see you. Is it Henry? Is the dad's
Henry,
name?
yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Henry
Henry Cross's daughter, but did you know him or something like that? And she's like, yeah, I'm his mother. And so that was a nice little twist.
I felt like the chapters with Opal were all really, really wholesome. Like when they went out to party with her and got her all dressed up and hit the town, just a group of girls, and like, having Hannah come and meet her grandmother as well for the first time. It didn't feel like too much of a main storyline, but it just kind of added some development to Piper as well, like having another, connection to her father. This was like the first person who, like, while she's starting to slowly get lots of stories about her father from the local fishermen, but this was much more personal. She gets to see more photos and, hear about how there's, how her grandmother grieved the loss of her son. And I think Tessa did a really good job of covering grief in this book and just how different people process grief, because the way Brendan processed the loss of his wife was very different than how, their mother or their grandmother processed the loss of Henry. And they're all very valid. And it's just, it was very beautiful to read. I think she did a really respectful job of covering that. I also really loved that Piper never felt superior to the people in this town. Like, while she was pretty shallow as a person at the beginning and liked a bit, of a materialistic life and was kind of a party girl, she comes with very honest intentions and she spends time with the elderly and walking people around. And, she immediately offers to help walk Abe out from off his porch every day. And she, like, just kind of spends time like helping the local girls in the town do their makeup and like just getting together with people. And she's very welcoming and warm. But she doesn't see herself like that, which is very tough. She's very hard on herself. So it's nice growth, because I think kind of her relationship with Brendan really does help her see those good parts of herself, because she's never had a man in her life tell her those things. Like, her stepfather's treated her awful and all her boyfriends have treated her awful. So I think she does really believe all those negative things about herself, and she goes through a lot of unlearning.
So we talked about them being in the bar and they are, trying to revive it in a way. And so he finally finishes the pergola outside for the patio. And that's when, they have their first kiss. That was such a good scene.
That was a very steamy first kiss.
Yes.
I mean, their chemistry was just so good, and Brendan is just so hot. So, I knew that was going to be great. And he's just very giving.
Yes. And then Hannah walks in and she's
Of
like,
course.
oops. So they make, a plan to have their first date the following night.
Mhm.
And so they go to his house because he cooks dinner.
She's
And you
ready
could
to seduce his
just
ass. That's all.
yes, she is.
Yeah.
But he is too in a way because there was, the scene in the kitchen when he puts like the fish in the oven and he's like, "Oh
Yeah.
my god, I have to get this girl outside because if not,
Like,
I'm
he
gonna take her
wants
right
it,
here on
but
the
he also
table."
yeah. I think his internal struggle is he wants her. He definitely wants to, but at the same time, he's terrified that if he gives that to her, that's it, and she's gonna be done with him, and he wants to try to establish something else as quick as possible.
Yeah.
Like, I think he said at one point, he's like, "I wish I could, like, lock her in here for a week so I could just get in her head."
Yes. Yes.
So she would stop overthinking everything and, like, rejecting him because he's like, "I know we're perfect for each other." Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he
So
takes his ring off right after that as well. Or, like,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, he finally takes the ring off. He drops her back off at her apartment that night, and he's leaving for 2 weeks, to go on a fishing trip, and she
Mhm.
just knows that he's, like, kissing her goodbye in case, like,
Mhm.
he doesn't come back, so that just, like, hurt my heart a little bit.
And she has her mother's warning in her head as well all the time of just, like, these men will always choose the sea and fishing over a woman, over their family, like, that is the love of their life?
Yeah.
So you have to be prepared for something that might happen to them that is just can be inevitable, like, one of the deadliest jobs you could do.
Right.
And, yeah, so I think the whole storm scene, when they've
Yeah.
been gone for a little while is probably one of my favorite parts of the whole book, even though it's, like, super intense and Piper's super stressed out and terrified that, they haven't come back yet. But then she goes to his apartment and she sees, like, he's left champagne in the fridge for her in case she wanted some
Yeah.
because, she would drink champagne. And
Mhm.
she showers and, like, uses his body wash to smell like him and curls up in his bed and, like, it's all you can see the growth she's gone through, like, to feel like she can do that. She just feels so comfortable.
Yes, and, like, the most heartbreaking scene was when, she heard that something happened, but she doesn't
Mhm.
know who got hurt, so she, like, rushes to the hospital, and, she gets up on the 4th floor, only thing that she knows is that, it's the ICU floor,
Yep.
and then she hears him saying her name, and then he's, like, calling her out on, "Oh, you're in my shirt," and then he even knew that, like, she smelled like him, like, he used or, like, it was, like,
Yeah.
the shampoo. So
Mhm.
that was just I mean, it was heartbreaking, to see her go through that, but it was also, like, such a sweet little banter because she was, like, fighting it. She's like, "No, I have this same shirt at home."
And he's also been struggling with the fear of, like, is this woman as interested in me as I am in her? And then I think to see her in that moment just solidified all the things he'd been feeling and just, like, gave him a lot of validation to the relationship, and he's kind of like, even though she's scared and, worried that this won't work out, she's still falling in love with me, and I can see that. Um, so that was great, and I think I highlighted one of the things he said. Oh, yeah, he said, "This girl, he'd be keeping her. There was no way around it." And I was like, "Ah, yes. Yes, you
Yeah.
will." Yeah. He's
I
very obsessed.
so, my favorite character in this book was definitely Fox, which is,
Mhm.
Brennan's best friend, and it was I wanna say it was, like, the night after the bar scene when she got drunk, and he goes to Fox's house and was, like, getting advice or something like that, and he kept
Mhm.
on, like, making it a fish
Fish analogies?
Fish analogies. Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. I was like,
Yes.
what's that word?
Yeah.
Words are hard.
Yep.
Yes. So that just made me laugh so much. And then, like, obviously, that's when you first know that he's like really into Hannah because he looked up the convention that's in Seattle. Yeah. So that was really cool. And then the whole trip there where he booked the 3 rooms just because he knew that she was going to want to stay with Hannah.
Yeah, that was just, he's very caring. He thinks ahead and just like plans everything out. And yeah. And then this is also, I guess, where she finds out that he's also loaded.
Yes. Yeah. Because she
One of my
was like,
favorite parts of the book.
yeah. She was like, I just learned the value of money. And now you tell me I have a rich boyfriend.
Yeah. Yep. And then he's like tells her how much one of the crabs are worth and how much money he makes, like, and she's just like, oh, so like millions, and he's just like, yeah. Fisherman Riz. No, it was that whole part was good. And then it comes to my favorite quote of the entire book, which is, I think, spoiling you makes my dick hard. That is hands down my favorite part of the whole book. I was like, hell yes, Tess. I think I actually read that one to my boyfriend right away, and I was like, babe, how does that sound to you? So yeah, that was a great quote from her. And there was also a good build up.
How long have you and your boyfriend been together?
I'm blanking right now. A year and a half, or a little over a year and a half. Yeah.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, we did move in together pretty quick because he got a job in a different province. So he was going to be moving across the whole country, and I didn't want to do long distance. So I also wasn't really doing, like, I just was working. So I was like, you know what? It's a cool opportunity. So yeah, we moved in together, and it's been great. And yeah, we got a cat this year.
That's so exciting.
Yeah. No, it's been fun. I don't want to stay here permanently, though. I do want to move back to my home, like where all my family is. I mean, I'm sure he would like the same thing, but he's from Brazil, and that's a bit of a bigger relocation for me.
Yeah, for sure. Podcast episode, we do some sort of game that we like to play. So today we're going to do cast the character. So we have Piper, Hannah, Daniel, which is Piper and Hannah's stepdad, Brendan and Fox. Tell us who you would cast.
Yeah, so for the sisters, I mean, for Piper, I think I just said Annie Murphy. That's definitely who I would go with. I got to listen to Tessa on this one, and like as soon as I read that she was based off of Alexis Rose, that was like all I could see when I read it, which was so enjoyable. And then for Hannah, I mean, at first I tried to think of somebody who kind of looked like Annie Murphy, but that I could have come up with anything there. So I went with Sydney Sweeney, who is just really gorgeous and blonde. And yeah, she's a great actress. So that was my cast for Hannah. For Brendan, it was probably the hardest one to come up with because I could not find who I wanted with black hair. But I went with Chris Evans because he looks so good with a beard. And I mean, that was really one of the biggest points of Brendan. And his beanie. My gosh, keep forgetting about the red beanie.
Yes.
Yeah. And then for Fox, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, this is perfection. But Tyler Cameron from The Bachelorette.
Yes.
He's just like so playful and like goofy, and I think that's kind of what Fox is just like unserious and like a bit of a playboy and very charming. Yeah.
Who would you cast for Daniel?
Oh, right. And so have you seen Pretty Little Liars?
Yes.
Okay, so Spencer's dad, I'm trying to find the actor's name because I just had that one saved. Nolan North, there we go. But yeah, he plays Spencer's dad in Pretty Little Liars. And he just has a very like rich douche dad. look for me. Like whenever I'm thinking of like a really douchey father figure, who's also kind of described as being like well groomed and attractive. That's just like my first thought because I was the biggest Pretty Little Liars fan and also a Spencer fan. So yes, those are my fan casts.
All right. So mine would be for Piper, I said Blake Lively because that's just like who I pictured when I was reading this book.
Totally.
Hannah, I said Anna Kendrick, just because, she's quirky, she's funny, she's got some spark to her. Daniel, I said Peter Gallagher. If you don't know who that is, he plays the dad in OC.
Yes, okay, I know who that is. I just looked up a photo of him right now. But yes, I could totally see that one too. Yep.
Yes. My Brendan, I pictured, and I'm probably going to butcher these next two last names, but Brendan, I said Tyler Hoechlin from Teen Wolf. Just the scruffiness, and I just love Tyler Hoechlin. And then for Fox, I had to go with my favorite bad boy and said Alex Pettyfer.
Yes. It's not easy finding a attractive blonde guy. So, or like for like book cover worthy blonde guy. I don't know.
Yes.
I find I don't usually love the blonde characters, but I think Fox is pretty blonde. So that's pretty good. He's one of the good ones. I think my review for Hook, Line, and Sinker on Goodreads is literally, thank you, Tessa Bailey, for like making me like a blonde character. And that's it. 5 stars. Yeah.
In the meantime, you can catch us causing chaos over on Instagram at What the Smut Podcast, and me personally at On Point Digital Services.
And I'm over on Instagram at Courtney Leanne. If you want to join us for a chat, there's a form linked in our notes, so be sure to fill that out because we would love to hear from you.
If you enjoyed today's episode, please consider leaving us a review. Reviews help other smut readers find us, and honestly, they make our chaotic hearts very happy.
And if you really love this podcast and want to show support, we've got a listener support link in our show notes. Supporters get shout outs, special giveaways, and maybe even some exclusive chaos you can't find anywhere else. We also have sponsorship opportunities as well.
Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys next time.